Have you ever felt that sudden surge of heat in your chest when someone insults you or things go wrong? That immediate, uncontrollable urge to scream, argue, or fight back is exactly where you lose your power. Most people are like puppets, their strings being pulled by every external event, every rude comment, and every minor inconvenience. But what if I told you there is a hidden fortress inside your mind that no one can breach? In this video, we are going to explore the dangerous power of non-reaction and how it can make you untouchable. By the end of this journey, you will understand why your silence is more terrifying than your roar. Prepare yourself, because we are about to dismantle your old self and build a master of emotions. The ancient Stoics discovered a truth that most people spend their entire lives trying to ignore or avoid. They realized that we don't have control over what people say, how they act, or the chaos of the world around us. However, we have absolute, total control over how we choose to interpret and respond to those external triggers. Every time you react impulsively, you are essentially handing over the keys to your internal kingdom to a total stranger. You are letting their ignorance dictate your peace of mind and your emotional stability throughout the day. To master your emotions is to realize that nothing outside of you has any power unless you give it permission. This is not just a philosophy. It is a survival strategy for the modern world where everyone wants a piece of your energy. Think about the people who try to provoke you, whether it's a toxic coworker, a random person online, or even a friend. They are looking for a specific outcome. They want to see you disturbed, angry, or defensive because it gives them a sense of ego. When you give them that reaction, you are fulfilling their script and proving that you are easily manipulated. You become a predictable machine that clicks anger whenever they press the insult button on your emotional dashboard. But when you stay calm, when you look them in the eye and offer no emotional feedback, the power dynamic shifts instantly. They become confused, frustrated, and eventually they realize that they have no leverage over a person who cannot be moved. Your lack of reaction is the ultimate psychological mirror that reflects their own weakness back at them. Science tells us that there is a tiny gap between a stimulus and your response, and in that gap lies your entire freedom. Most people live their lives in a state of constant reaction mode, where the stimulus and response are jammed together with no breathing room. When you feel that spark of anger, your brain's amygdala is trying to hijack your rational thought process for a fight or flight response. The secret of the elite is learning how to stretch that tiny gap into a wide, spacious canyon of cold, hard logic. In that pause, you ask yourself, is this worth my energy? Is this reaction going to help me or hurt me in the long run? By choosing to breathe instead of bark, you allow your prefrontal cortex to take back the wheel. This 1-second delay is the difference between a master and a slave to his own biology. Many people mistakenly believe that staying quiet or not reacting is a sign of weakness or cowardice in the face of conflict. In reality, silence is one of the most aggressive and strategic weapons you can ever deploy in a social or professional setting. While everyone else is shouting, stumbling over their words, and exposing their insecurities, the silent observer remains a mystery. People are naturally terrified of what they cannot understand or predict, and a man who does not react is an unpredictable force. Your silence forces others to keep talking to fill the void, and in doing so, they usually reveal their own cards and weaknesses. You are not being passive. You are being patient, waiting for the right moment to act with precision rather than reacting with emotion. True strength is the ability to hold a loaded gun and have the discipline to never pull the trigger. To reach this level of mastery, you must view your mind as a sacred citadel that must be protected from the filth of the outside world. Every negative comment or chaotic event is an invading army trying to scale your walls and burn down your internal peace. If you react to everything, your gates are wide open, and you are inviting the enemy to destroy your mental health from the inside. Stoicism teaches us to build these walls so high and so thick that the arrows of others simply bounce off and fall into the dirt. You must develop a filter where you decide what information is allowed to enter your emotional space and what is dismissed as noise. This is not about becoming a robot or having no feelings. It is about choosing which feelings are worthy of your time. Have you ever felt completely drained, not from physical work, but just from life? From arguing, from trying to prove a point, from getting emotionally tangled up in things you can't control? The ancient Stoics had some powerful wisdom for this exact feeling, and it's all about conserving your most precious resource, your energy. Think of your energy like a limited budget. Every time you get into a pointless debate, worry about someone else's opinion, or let your ego take the wheel, you're making a withdrawal. The Stoics taught that true strength isn't about winning every argument. It's about knowing which battles are even worth fighting. A key part of this is taming the ego. Our ego craves validation. It wants to be right, to be seen, to be praised. But chasing this external approval is a surefire way to exhaust yourself. The Stoic approach is to find your validation from within. Are you acting with virtue? Are you being a good person according to your own principles? If the answer is yes, then what others think is just noise. It doesn't need your energy. This leads to emotional self-discipline. Imagine someone cuts you off in traffic. Your gut reaction might be anger, but the Stoics would ask, what does getting angry achieve? It won't change what happened. It only ruins your peace of mind and drains your energy. Instead, take a breath. Recognize the feeling, but choose not to act on it. This isn't about suppressing emotions. It's about not letting them control you. It's the practice of choosing a calm, rational response over a knee-jerk emotional one. So, the next time you feel yourself getting pulled into drama or an argument, ask yourself, is this a wise use of my energy? Is my ego driving this? Or is it my values? By learning to let go of what you can't control and focusing on your own actions, you'll find you have so much more energy for the things that truly matter. Imagine the life of a man who is truly unreactive. His stress levels are lower, his mind is clearer, and his decisions are more lethal. Because he doesn't waste energy on drama, he has a massive surplus of focus to put into his career, his health, and his goals. People naturally gravitate towards him because he is a pillar of stability in a sea of emotional instability and constant chaos. He commands respect not by demanding it, but by projecting an aura of self-control that others can sense from a mile away. His relationships improve because he doesn't ignite fires over small misunderstandings or let his pride get in the way of logic. This is the ultimate freedom, the freedom from being bothered by anything that is outside of your own choices. You become the captain of your soul and the master of your own destiny, forever untouchable. The path of the Stoic is not for everyone. It is for the few who are brave enough to face themselves and conquer their own shadows. Most will continue to be victims of their circumstances, reacting to life like leaves blowing in the wind without any direction. But you are here because you want something different. You want to be the wind itself, moving with purpose and power. If you are ready to stop being a slave to your emotions and start building your unbreakable mind, then commit to this path right now. Like this video if it challenged your perspective, and subscribe to join our community of those who choose to observe rather than react. Leave a comment saying "mastered" to signal to yourself and the world that you are taking control today. Stay focused, stay silent, and above all, stay powerful.